This morning, as Americans look ahead to the fall, questions about when many adults can take a COVID booster shot, while children under 12 facing a new school year are still unable to be vaccinated at all as the COVID case count continues to rise. A staggering 40 million infections in the U.S., and with COVID deaths rising in 48 states, the country has now surpassed 650,000 deaths since the start of the pandemic as the highly contagious Delta variant drives the latest surge. The White House is preparing to extend its booster timeline. While the third shot for some of those fully vaccinated with Pfizer and Moderna was expected to be available in 2 weeks, regulators now warn Moderna likely won't make that deadline after the company's booster data was found to be inadequate. The Biden administration adamant on waiting for approval.
No one's going to get boosters until the FDA says they're approved, until the CDC Advisory Committee makes a recommendation.
This as the number of kids infected with the virus is on the rise. A new report from the American Academy of Pediatrics and the Children's Hospital Association found children make up 1 in 5 new COVID cases. And between late June and mid-August, numbers from the CDC show hospitalization rates for kids and teens increased 5-fold.
We know certainly more children are getting infected, and therefore more are getting hospitalized.
COVID put then 4-year-old Lincoln in the hospital for a week last March.
I don't feel so good.
I know you don't feel so good.
His mother, Anna, stayed at his bedside as his condition worsened.
I remember the moments that he said, "Mom, I just don't feel good. I don't think I'm going to go home." That's the thing that nobody wants to hear their 4-year-old say.
Luckily, Lincoln's condition improved, but he would have to spend 3 more weeks on oxygen.
I just think that people need to know that this is possible.
As for that possible approval delay for Moderna's booster doses, Dr. Fauci said if there is one, it could take a few more weeks. But the White House says once they do get the approval, they'll be ready to roll out those third shots within hours.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories.
Good morning on this Thursday, September 23rd, 2021. Again, the National Newspaper Publishers Association and the Black Press of America continues to advocate safety. Get a vaccine if you can. Certainly wear a mask and social distance. The neon lights are indeed bright on Broadway again with the reopening of shows in New York. Today we have 2 very special guests. One who friends of the program became familiar with recently with her lively appearance on Let It Be Known, Irene Gandy, who is fresh off a Tony Award win. We also have producer Brian Moreland, who is here to talk about Thoughts of a Colored Man by Keenan Scott, and the first play in Broadway history to be written, directed, and starring and lead produced by Black artists. Irene Gandy and Brian Moreland will join us. But first, let us bring on the president and CEO of the National Newspaper Publishers Association, Dr. Benjamin F. Chavis Jr. Dr. Chavis, good morning.
Good morning, Stacey Brown. On behalf of the National Newspaper Publishers Association, Karen Carter Richards, our distinguished chair, publisher of the Forward Times in Houston, Texas, we greet everybody this morning on behalf of the 230 African-American owned newspapers and media companies across the United States. And as you know, Stacey, each morning we begin with these video clips about where we are with the pandemic. It's such important information and since that video was done, you know, the FDA did now approve the booster shot for 65 years, for people who are 65 years and older. And they've made application now for the CDC for 5 to 11-year-olds based on the data that's coming in of the effectiveness of the virus. So in terms of the science, our nation's doctors, researchers, led by the FDA and the Center for Disease Control, Department of Health and Human Services, they're doing an excellent job trying to tackle this virus and provide the latest information for all of our people. And this is important for Black Americans because we are still disproportionately infected with the virus were disproportionately dying from the virus. So that's why we begin each of our programs with these updates to keep everybody informed. We have to protect ourselves from the virus. You have to wear the mask, wash your hands, social distance, as well as if you're available and if you are eligible, you should take the vaccine. Make sure you get your shots.
Absolutely. Angela Connolly says there should be better documentation on receiving the vaccine. Some are double dipping. And good morning to Cheryl Smith. She's watching Dr. Chavis this morning. We are always great to see Cheryl Smith from Texas, the Texas Metro News.
Right. And Cheryl is also our regional president of Region 4 of the NMPA. Always glad to have her join the program.
Yeah. And of course, Bobby Henry down at the West Side Gazette in Fort Lauderdale. Dr. Chavis, Alpha Kappa Alpha, AKA, of course, announced that the sorority set a new record and raised more than $2.1 million in one day to benefit the nation's HBCUs. Alpha Kappa Alpha's annual HBCU Impact Day on September 20th far exceeded the goal as the country's first Black sorority received online donations and checks from local AKA chapters, private donors, and corporate matching dollars from across the globe. Glenda Glover, who is the president, she said, in the fourth and final year of our HBCU Impact Day initiative, I am pleased, honored, and excited to report that we have doubled our giving, exceeding the $2 million mark, an historic moment for AKA members and other donors and the institutions that will benefit from these funds. Dr. Glover, the international president and CEO of AKA she says this means even more support for our HBCUs. We started this journey in 2018 with the goal of raising $1 million in one day, certainly uncharted territory. But she went on to explain that they got to over $2.1 million. It's phenomenal, Dr. Chavis.
It is phenomenal. I heard from Dr. Glover last night. She's not only the leader of the AKAs, the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, but she's also the distinguished president of Tennessee State University in Nashville, Tennessee. So she's an HBCU president also. And we salute the AKAs for this remarkable fundraising in one day, over $2 million for our HBCUs. We salute them and we wish them well.
Absolutely. And also in the news, Dr. Chavis, the American Cancer Society, along with 4 HBCUs, actually historically Black medical schools, including Charles Drew Medical School, Howard University, Meharry Medical College, and Morehouse School of Medicine, have announced a groundbreaking diversity in cancer research program to help improve diversity, equity, and inclusion in the cancer research field. The 4 HBCUs have received grants in a pilot program for the coming school year. The awards are unique in cancer research. They provide a large amount of salary support for the 4 colleges to select clinical faculty who need more dedicated time for their cancer research and scholarly activities. They also fund other student and postdoctoral programs and underpin the awards with career development funds and mentorship by established American Cancer Society professors. So again, the HBCUs at the forefront of making a difference.
Absolutely. You know, as a graduate of Howard University, one of the leading HBCUs, we're so pleased to hear this news, and we support all of the medical schools who are involved in this project. And it's good that they're finally getting funding. They need to get funding from the federal government. They need to get funding from state governments. They need to get funding from philanthropic and corporate America. HBCUs are leading the way. We're very grateful.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dr. Chavis, the Center for American Progress has released new estimates for how much the typical family in all 50 states and the District of Columbia could save on child care costs if Congress were to pass President Joe Biden's and Vice President Kamala Harris's Build Back Better agenda. Using state median income and child care cost data, the analysis shows that the planned sliding scale limit on child care costs for families would save the typical working family more than $100 per week on childcare in 32 states and in the District of Columbia. In other words, the Build Back Better Act would lower the typical family's annual childcare costs by as much as $6,500 in most states. So we got to keep an eye on President Biden's Build Back Better agenda, because it seems like it would do wonders for families.
Well, I think the Democrats control the House, they control the Senate, and they have the White House. And I know they're trying to get things bipartisan, but if they can't get the Republicans to join it, they need to push through all these legislation. The ones that you just cited, the George Floyd Policing Act, the John Lewis Voting Rights Act, all of these bills are very, very important. You know, the Build Back Better Act, you know, we cannot afford to allow them to hold these legislation up. And I think the key vote is coming up early next week. So we will see what will happen to all of these legislation. It's vital for Black America.
Yeah, and speaking of the John Lewis Police and Justice and Policing Act, you can read a lot more about what happened, why talks collapsed yesterday. You can read about it at blackpressusa.com. The president, finally, Dr. Chavez, the president of the Republic of Ghana, has championed plans to construct a state-of-the-art museum complex honoring the legacy of world-renowned Black intellectual and civil rights pioneer, Dr. W.E.B. Du Bois. It's an important symbolic monument out in Ghana, and the president said the museum will provide yet another important monument to the collective struggle of the African peoples to get their rightful place in this world. So we're looking forward to that, Dr. Chavez. The Du Bois Memorial Center in Accra is where Dr. Du Bois and his wife Shirley Graham are buried. It opened to the public in 1985, but in recent years it required additional upkeep and maintenance. So we're looking forward to more information on that as well.
Well, we salute the nation of Ghana, the president of Ghana, and the people of Ghana for embracing W.E.B. Du Bois. As you know, Brother Du Bois was one of the founders of the NAACP. Was the first African-American to get a PhD from Harvard. Smart brother, bright brother, but committed. And he's also contributed to the philosophy of Pan-Africanism, working together throughout the African diaspora. So we salute Ghana for this tribute to Du Bois and the funding that's now dedicated to expand the center in Accra, Ghana, the capital of Ghana. And we look forward the Black press participating and helping promote this new center dedicated to and tribute to W.E.B. Du Bois.
Yeah, and Dr. Chavez, they say the neon lights are bright on Broadway. Well,
yes,
absolutely they are, and Broadway is back. And today,
well, one of those lights is Sister Gandy.
Absolutely,
the brightest light is Sister Gandy.
The brightest light, and she's with us this morning. Without further ado, let us bring on Irene Gandy and producer Brian Moreland. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm so happy to be here. So happy to do this again. I wouldn't want to do. I called Stacey, said, "I got to do you. I got to do Dr. Chavez. I got to do. Let it be known that I have to do you first. You're my exclusive."
Well, congratulations on your Tony Award, and it's well deserved. And Brother Moreland, congratulations to you. You're really not only making history on Broadway, but you're doing it in such an elegant, powerful, transformative way with the message of your new play.
My gosh, thank you so much, gentlemen. I am completely honored and humbled to be here today with all of you. When Irene Gandy asked me to join her on her momentous day after her Tony Award win, which is 100% historic for our people, historic for Broadway, and historic for the career of a press person. She has made a huge impact, and I am so grateful that she is here. She always says, we stand on her shoulders, and if you think her shoulders are small, she has the hips to support you. So I just really am grateful that she has welcomed me with open arms and welcomed this play into the Broadway scene.
Well, we certainly are going to talk about that play, but you know what? We have to, they say, make sure you give folks their flowers while they're still here. We got to give Irene Gandy her flowers. Let's take a look at her Tony Award win and what she had to say about that.
My red carpet smile. Thank you, Tony administration, for this 2020 Tony Honors Excellent in Theater Award. I pay homage to Douglas Turner Ward, Robert Hooks, and Gerald Crone, who founded the Negro Ensemble Company in 1967 and created a free space for Blacks, not only to perform in front, but also behind the scenes, like myself and Carolyn Jones, who was the original company manager of NEC and who gave me my first $10 raise. I also want to acknowledge Honorary Woody King, who I joked knew Federal provided the productions, but NEC made it possible to get access into the unions so we could get paid. In the early years, I worked with such Black producers as Ashton Springer and Boza Rivers, who gave me credit as associate producer on Serafina. I want to give special thanks to my work husband, Jeffrey Richards, who has employed me over 3 decades and graciously shares his producing credits with me on his shows. You know, as a press agent on Broadway for over 50 years, it takes a village. So I want to give a shout out to all the stagehands, company managers, house managers, wardrobe, box office, treasurers, and the security guys who have made my journey less difficult. I appreciate you so much. You know who you are. I also want to thank my longtime press cohorts who have and continue to support my projects, like the New York Beacon, Amsterdam News, Urban Radio, Frank DiLLÓN, Flo Anthony, Cheryl Wills, Playbill, Broadway.com, Broadway World, so many others who are going to be mad because I didn't call out your names, but you know I love you. Thanks, Lloyd Williams, Harlem Week Chair, for always being there to produce and help spread diversity in audiences in a great way. My sister Inez, my nieces Robin and Jeanette, thanks for holding it down. And to my beloved daughter Myra Gandy, you and God are the reason when I wake up, I am thankful every day. This award is dedicated to the shoulders I stood on, and others forthcoming I want to stand on mine. And if you think the weight might get too heavy on my shoulders, don't worry. I'm a Black woman. I have wide hips you can always hold on to.
Oh my God, I am so excited now.
Wow. Congratulations.
I really hate you guys because I'm always doing it first. This is the first time I actually really looked at this. It's really, my speech is amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you again. Let it be known. I'm in tears. I'm moved to tears.
Well, it's a great tribute to you, and you have a great memory. You have a great recollection of not only your journey, but the journey of others. And here we are, you know, acknowledging your award, and you took the time and grace to acknowledge all the people who have helped you, who have worked alongside of you. That's a tribute to a great leader who always looks around and embrace those who help get across the threshold. I hope a lot of other leaders learn from you, Sister Gandy, about the importance of collective leadership, as we sometimes have to take the point position, but sometimes it also takes a team to win the game.
Oh, I want to marry you, but I can't. I got a show to do. Laurel got a show to do, but later. No, it's important because Sam Jackson, Denzel,
yes,
for all of us, we started at the NEC, and this dear white letter that's coming around now, which I'm totally in support of, but that letter was written in 1967, and Douglas Turner Ward was smart enough to know it's great to have your if you want to act, if you want to do things, but he kept it the Negro Ensemble Company. But the important thing that we have excellence in the theater, and you have excellence. You can't have excellence and not have anybody see it who's excellent like yourself. So you need that validation for excellence. And that's what, and I'm a Black woman. I mean, I have to, I'm there. I'm on Broadway for 50 years. But I wouldn't be there if it wasn't for the Douglas Turner Awards, the Black audiences, like even Brian, young Brian. So that's why I'm there. You got to know why you're there. You know, I mean, you're there. They're getting money from the government for why you're there. All of these. Yeah. Okay. Let's not talk. That's all.
Well,
okay. Let's talk about me. Okay.
Well, let's actually, yeah, let's talk about you, but let's also talk about Brian Moreland. Brian, talk to us about Thoughts of a Colored Man. It's the new play that is all Black.
It is. It is all Black from the writer to the director to the producers. This play came to me while I was living in London about 6 years ago now. Keenan Scott II wrote this play, sent it to me. I had never read anything like it. It's a play showing the 7 Black men in their perspectives in the day in the life in a gentrifying neighborhood in Brooklyn. It shares the highs and the lows, our greatest fears, and also our greatest joys. There is so much laughter in this play, and it's always really strikes me odd when people say, but it's called Thoughts of a Colored Man. Is there laughter in that? The Black experience, especially the Black male experience in the 21st century, has so much joy. There is so much laughter. We find laughter and joy in spaces that people don't even think about. And when Keenan wrote this play, he wanted to show the wide range of the Black male experience. And that's what he's done all in one play in a 90-minute show that's based in slam poetry, song, and movement. It is really extraordinarily moving. Please come see us at the Golden Theater. We begin previews October 1st. You can go to thoughtsofacoloredman.com and get your tickets today. I want to see each and every single person from this show at the theater before October 31st. You must come. Don't wait. You know how we like to wait and say, oh, I'm coming. And then, oh, is the show gone? We're a limited engagement, so you have to come and see us.
Also, I just want to add that these young Black men, we all know about colored girls who have yellow and stuff. Brian, tell them what the characters are and who the characters are, because they're really hot. Like
absolutely.
So those women, they will come out and see Trish. Well, come out. Okay.
So Keenan has written a play with 7 allegorical titles for characters. So there's love, there's lust, passion, wisdom, depression. And what happens is that these particular men are all portrayed by a wide kaleidoscope of men that we currently have in our spectrum today. So in our cast, we have this wonderful man making his Broadway debut named Da Vinci, who is currently the lead star of 50 Cent's new show called Black Mafia Family. He's making his Broadway debut. We have Tristan Mack Wilds from The Wire and 90210 and Real Love on Netflix, and They Call Me Dad most recently on the OWN network. We also have Grammy nominee Luke James from Showtime's The Chi. Or if you're a real Luke James fan, you saw him on Star, which is one of my favorite shows. We also have DYLLÓN Burnside, who was an Emmy winner from Pose. We have a Tony nominee, FORREST McCLENDON from Scottsboro Boys. We have so many people in this cast. It's like a wonderful reunion concert of your favorite stars. These men are our future of tomorrow.
Wow.
He's excited about it, right? He's passionate.
He's extremely passionate. And he should be as well. He should. I understand from the show notes that as the sun rises on a single day in the pulsing heart of Brooklyn, 7 Black men are about to discover the extraordinary together. That opening itself, Brian, who came up with that? Because it really sucks you in.
Keenan Scott II, the playwright of Thoughts of a Colored Man.
How old is he?
The person that came up with that. He always felt like he never saw himself on stage.
I think we're losing.
Yeah, go ahead.
There you go.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's Keenan Scott II came up with this. It's a very interesting concept to never see oneself on the stage. I studied acting in college. I never had a play that was young enough for me to meet me in my life of where I was as a young Black man. And I have to say, this is the only play that I know of that meets Black men where they are right now, alive and thriving in the 21st century. And Keenan Scott II is the person that has written that.
Also, who's making their Broadway debut as a producer, because I'm always about the cash, is Kandi Burruss and Samira Wiley from Orange and Black. Yeah, so that's really exciting. And Kandi's really for Kandi, for people who don't know, she's from the Housewife. Well, from
Yes,
Escape. Let's
the
be
real
real.
Housewives.
I mean, she's a songwriter, singer, right? Yeah. But
Right, the Housewives of Atlanta, Kandi Burruss, or you might know her as the Grammy writer for Scrubs. You also might know her as a singer from the group Escape. You also might know her as the winner of the Masked Singer. I mean, this woman is about her business. And she read Thoughts of a Colored Man, and she came on as a producer immediately. And we have Broadway icon as well, Sheryl Lee Ralph, an original Broadway dream girl. So this show is making firsts in every category, from the playwright to our director, Stephen H. Broadnax, to the Broadway debuts, to the producing team. We are extraordinarily fortunate. And we're at the Golden Theater, October 1st.
Yeah, and before we went live, Irene, you shared with us a very poignant moment when you got the cast, when the cast was together.
Oh my God!
It brought you to tears. Oh. And Brian likened it to when Barack Obama was elected president. Talk about that just a little bit before we have to close.
Okay, well, first of all, I want to say let's send a prayer out to Mickey Grant in heaven, and also Melvin Van Peebles, who was also on Broadway 50 years ago. Melvin Van Peebles ain't supposed to die a natural death, but. All right, we had a first rehearsal party, and we all take pictures. You saw some of the pictures now. And I was getting ready to pose for a picture with Kandi, and I looked around the room, and I'm even thinking about it, and I saw not only the all-Black cast, I saw a Black director, I saw a Black company manager, a Black associate director. And I just broke down in tears that I had lived 50 years to see this, because it never hit me before. I was like in a room with and so talented. I mean, we don't always have to be talented, but we have to. We don't know if we're talented if we're not shown. And it just, it was really emotional. And I still get emotional. I look at Brian. I met Brian. He's heard me on TV, on the radio, and said, "I need to talk to you." And that was 5 years ago. And look at him. I might need a job. Matter of fact, he's paying me today.
Brian, and you kind of likened it to meeting Barack Obama.
Yes, I did. It's the pride, right? It's the pride and the joy of when you know something has been denied and then it is finally achieved. There is joy and sorrow wrapped in those tears. And when I finally had an opportunity to sit down in a room and gather with all of these men that we have been working with this play, myself only producing it for 5 years, Keenan wrote the play 15 years ago. So I am literally picking up the baton in the marathon race that he has already started. And that sitting in that room with those men after the journey has been so long, it brought me to tears. It's the same way I felt when President Obama was elected. It's a sorrowful but joyful moment of tears that we have actually made it,
Yeah,
that's what's happened.
Wow. Dr. Chavis, your close with Irene Gandy, the Tony Award winner Irene Gandy, and the producer Brian Moreland.
Well, on behalf of the Black press of America, not only in New York, but throughout the United States and throughout the world, we salute Sister Gandy, we salute Brother Moreland for your achievement and for your continuing contribution to the uplift of our people.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. October 1st, and then the show actually opens October 30th, wide on Broadway, Thoughts of a Colored Man. You got to check it out. We're looking forward to it, and hopefully it'll get to a point, Brian and Irene, that they'll extend this limited run. So let's support it, Thoughts of a Colored Man. And don't forget to check out the National Newspaper Publicists Association and the Black Press of America on TikTok at NNPA Black Press. That's TikTok. And this weekend and every weekend, you got to check out the Chavis Chronicles on PBS TV and PBS World. Stars our president and CEO. It's his national talk show, the Chavis Chronicles. And I tell you what, I had the privilege of sitting in on some of the tapings the other day, and you're not going to want to miss an episode this season of the Chavis Chronicles, PBS TV and PBS World. Check your local listings. It's weekly, y'all. And let it be known, remember this, never let them tell you who you ought to be. Just be with dignity, celebrate yourself, triumphantly. We will see you tomorrow with Antonio Fargas.
Oh,
have a great
that's
day,
my,
everyone.